All right, so now that we've done an application problem, I just want to do a couple quick practice problems with you. So we're going to look at these two examples together, and then you guys can practice the rest of your examples throughout class. But with this example, you'll notice that I'm giving you two equations, and I'm actually being very kind because I'm giving you x is already by itself. Who is x equal to? X is equal to 2y minus 3. So what we can do is we say, oh, well, we have another x right here. So instead of writing x, we can write what he's equivalent to. That's the 2y minus 3. So we're going to basically rewrite our problem with a 3 out front. Now we're going to leave a big set of parentheses there. Come back to him. Minus the 7y equals negative 14. So remember, what we're doing is instead of writing x, we're writing 2y minus 3. So let's write that in, 2y minus 3. So now I distribute. Let's just start solving for y, just like we learned back in Unit 0. That's 6y minus 9 minus 7y equals negative 14. Combine my like terms. My like terms in this case are the 6y and the negative 7y. So that if I combine those gives me negative 1y. Minus 9 still there. Equals negative 14 still there. Now I need to move the negative 9 by adding. So I'm going to add the 9 over. So I'm left with negative 1y equals negative 5. So we don't want negative 1 though, so we get rid of that negative 1 by dividing. There we go. That gives us positive 5. So y equals positive 5. And then we go full circle in here. It's basically like the circle of life, right? We now take that 5 and it's our y value, so we can plug it in right there. So to find the x equals 2 times something minus 3. What's that something? The 5 we just found. So 10 minus 3 equals 7. So x equals 7. So the way we present our answer is we always present our solution as an ordered pair, x comma y. So in this case, our x is 7 and our y is positive 5. There's our solution. Let's do one more together, and then I'll leave you guys to practice. So here you can notice, here's a little bit different. None of our variables are completely alone. None of our variables are completely alone. The x is with 10, the x is with 4, the y is with negative 7. But this guy is sort of alone, just not completely. So what we need to do is we need to move this 10x over here. How do we do that? Well, we subtract it over, right? We definitely subtract it over. So we're going to go ahead and subtract that 10x to the other side. So let's subtract the 10x over, write it like this. So now we know that y equals 35 minus 10x. Let's plug that in right here. So we now have 4x minus 7, parentheses, leave some space, equals negative 23. We go ahead and we plug in the 35 minus 10x. We now distribute. So if I distribute my negative 7, let's see, negative 7 times 30 would be negative 210 plus another 35, so it's going to be negative 245. Okay, so we have a 4x out front. Negative 7 times negative 10 gives me positive 70x equals negative 23. Let's combine some like terms. The 4x, the 70x gives me 74x minus 245 equals negative 23. I'm now going to add this 245 over. 245 to both sides plus 245 right here. Okay, when I do that, it's going to give me let's get some more space here. These cancel out. 74x is equal to, that's sort of like saying what is 245 minus 23. So that would be 125, 122, I believe. 222, excuse me. 222. I'm going to just make sure I'm right. Okay, so 222, we have 245 minus 23. Yeah, I was right. 22. And now we're going to divide that by 74. Divide that by 74. All right. And we're left with 3. So that's what x equals. And guess what? We can now take it back up right here. Take it back up. And we can plug that x in right there. 35 minus 10x. So it's going to be y equals 35 minus 10 times that 3. So that's 35 minus 30, which equals 5. And then present your answer as a point. So my answer is 3 comma 5. So family, there you go. That's what we're learning today. The rest of our time is going to be spent practicing and really perfecting it. Best of luck. Rewatch and rewind as much as necessary.